Hello, and welcome to the very first episode Food Court Podcast brought to you by the Food Court by DSG. I'm your host, Michelle Woolenzine, and I'm so excited that you're here joining us for our very first episode ever. Super excited. This podcast is about a couple of things safe, trusted, and transparent food. So whether you're a foodie, a food lover, or you're a regulator, a supplier or a vendor, a manufacturer, front lines of food production, or at the highest level of a food business, this is your place to learn, explore, and stay informed about what's really happening. And this is also your platform to come in and provide us with your expertise and your perspective. What we'd really like to do is be able to invite all kinds of people from different areas, and not just here in the United States, but also globally. Um, what can you expect from this? Well, each week we're going to bring you conversations with food safety experts, regulators, attorneys behind the scenes, entrepreneurs at all different business models, small, medium, and large. Deep dives into food safety topics, food fraud. One of my favorites is street food safety. I love all the street food out there, and let's talk about it because people have questions, and Anthony Bourdain brought you to the streets, right?
Yeah,
And he's the one who kind of opened it up. So it's always really interesting to see, the people's expressions, um, just as consumers or tourists, and then there's the food safety people behind the scenes going, "What?" But and then practical tips for food businesses and just to stay compliant and safe. One thing here is we know that your time is valuable, so what we'd like to do is provide short but impactful podcasts where if you're on your lunch break, coffee break, taking a subway somewhere, whatever, you have the opportunity to tune in and stay informed on what's up to date. At the same time, in order for you to do that, we're going to need you to uh, subscribe and follow the Food Court Podcast by DSG, and that will be available once this is posted. That will be available for you to follow. Um, so to kick things off, I have a really cool guest, important guest today. The man behind the vision of the Food Court by DSG. I'm tongue tied with the Food Court by DSG, but
no,
saying Food Court, but
yeah,
you're the CEO of
mhm,
DSG, which stands for Definitive Safety Group, and you're the leader in food safety in innovation, and you're the driving force behind all of this. So congratulations to you for this coming to fruition. I'm excited to be a part of it. Jonathan Davis, welcome.
thank you, Michelle, and appreciate the introduction. Um, just jumping on and wanted to give you a little background, give everyone a little background about myself and the business and why I started the food court. And we could just keep it short. The food court, I put by DSG, for trademark purposes and whatnot. But um, yes, so the food court was created, basically just to kind of get, like you said, dive onto a different type of terrain on food safety um, and food availability, food scarcity, and just have different individuals from the from the industry, kind of contribute. in a way, whether you're just beginning, whether you're on different sides of the fence as far as regulator versus vendor, or if you're transitioning from a different part of of your food safety journey. Maybe you're a wholesale inspector and you're now becoming a retail inspector, and you want to see what that looks like. Same thing if you're you're coming out of a five-star kitchen as a sous chef and you're now a street vendor, a street chef. You want to see how that looks like, on the regulation side. So I brought the food court just for everyone to kind of come together and collaborate their different ideas and opinions, within the safety realm. Okay. Uh,
Love
just it's a little background about myself. Again, reintroduce. My name is Jonathan Davis. I am a health inspector by day, and I'm out here in California, Northern California. Um, we do retail food inspections. Um, And I just, again, just wanted to just introduce myself and introduce the podcast and the platform. Michelle, she will be our host for the Food Court podcast. And moving forward, we hope to get interesting guests onto the platform that can contribute, and also, just kind of shine light on some of our industry is already kind of in the blind spot, but just kind of shine light on what it is that they do and what it is that that how they contribute to our industry.
Yep.
Mhm.
So Jonathan, one thing that maybe I didn't uh, talk to you about, but I'm always going to have interesting questions for our guests. Uh, and
Mhm.
so I'm going to call them quick fire questions. I would love
Okay.
to know what are your top three favorite foods. And then I would love to know what are your top three food safety concerns? Not about your favorite foods, or it could be, but what are your top three favorite foods? And then what are your top food safety concerns? This one's off the cuff.
Off the cuff. So my top three, uh, I would have to say gumbo. Um,
Yes, yes,
I'm
yes.
from the South, so
Oh,
gumbo, boudin, and let me see what else I would like. Of course, enchiladas. I love enchiladas too. Yeah.
Jonathan,
So,
I knew there was a
so those
reason.
are my top 2.
I knew why we are a good match. Uh, I'm
Uh,
I'm a gumbo. I'm a boudin. I've made my own boudin. Hasn't gotten where I need it, but I travel far for good boudin, and I
yeah,
do
yeah,
gumbo and the Tex-Mex uh, and Mexico experience enchiladas are also very near and dear. So perfect. Love that.
sure, for sure, for sure. And then the top, I guess what you say, the top three concerns about food safety.
Yep.
Um, uh, illegal street vendors, number number one, because there's a lot everywhere, and it's not more so. I think a lot of people just don't know the avenues to get permitted, and then also wholesale. On the factory side of things, how are things being brought down the supply chain in a safe manner to
Mhm.
retail? And then I think the last one, I guess that would be open air barbecue, because barbecue is becoming more and more popular. But then it's the right way to do barbecue, safe way to do barbecue. So how are these different jurisdictions, applying their respective health codes to open air barbecue? So I would say those are the main three, um, you know, concerns that I have around food safety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great answer because I see a lot of different types of food making their way
Mhm.
out onto the streets, right? Like barbecue, or just outside of your normal kitchen. And so it's almost like barbecue and certain things are possibly a street food, right? In that sense.
Yeah,
So how do we make it safe when we take it outside of your normal safe food environment? It it's not. So how do we handle that? So that I think there's some amazing and interesting topics to explore with some guest speakers that can talk about how they handle that. Um, we see we see a food show all the time about going to your latest and greatest barbecue uh, joint, and so how do
yeah.
they maintain that, right?
Mhm. And it's
So,
very, it's very popular. Very popular. So,
yep,
mhm.
yep. So, um, you know, you have been doing incredible work in safety and compliance. Can you share a
Correct.
little bit with us about that journey and how it led to the initiatives of the food court?
Sure, sure, sure. So, I began inspecting in the United States Air Force, military. We did building inspections and we did medical laboratory inspections. To make sure that everybody was being treated in a clean and safe environment. So from there, once I departed the military, separated from the military, I actually was going to school to pre med to become a dentist. That didn't work out. Life changed, and then I just kind of fell back onto my experience from the military and used my biology degree that I earned, going for pre med, to look at different ways on how to become a regulator. Looked all over. I was going to school in South Georgia at Georgia Southern in Savannah, Georgia, and just started applying all over nationwide. I got a call from Alameda County out here in Northern California in Oakland, and that's where my retail food experience started. Probably about 2015, I started inspecting retail food establishments.
Okay.
And then, yeah, yeah, I passed the boards probably a year after, and then been inspecting ever since. And it just, over time, just doing different inspections, routine inspections, and learning different aspects of the industry. I just wanted to kind of shine a light on that and just like, I was thinking like, why is nobody revolving around this? Or if they are, we need more platforms that, speak out on food safety and food scarcity. So, that's what led me to the food court.
So yeah,
Mhm.
that was I guess my next question is, what's the bigger vision here? Um, I heard that you say food scarcity, food
Mhm.
waste is a big thing, and um, I love that it's actually become a major topic in
Mhm.
safety because it is what happens with that food before it goes out or when it goes out. Um,
Mhm.
is impactful. So, where do you see the food court by DSG in the next couple of years? What would you ultimately like to see from this?
Ultimately, I would want it to become more so of a resource to where individuals can come, either on the consulting side, if they need some questions answered, they could probably look up someone within the food court network that's in their jurisdiction and maybe reach out to them for some consulting advice, how to get a permit. I've got a creative idea. I want to implement this and that. How do I do this? While staying in compliance. And then on the other side, for our inspectors or just our, are contributors into the food safety industry. You know, you know, what's the old saying? You know, iron sharpens iron. Iron. You know, we want to make sure that we are on top of our game as far as being food safety professionals and regulators. And it's things that I learned from different jurisdictions or different disciplines within food safety all the time. So, this is a constant. I believe this industry we're in is constantly growing, and it's going to always have some type of knowledge that you're going to be able to learn from somebody else. So that's one of those are the two main reasons. And I think once the food court takes off, we'll be able to have that symbiotic relationship. From consulting and then also teaching and learning from each other. So that's where I see the food court probably in 5 years.
I am thrilled to have met up with you. Um,
Yeah,
so it was interesting how we were brought together, um,
um,
right? And how our conversations developed and aligned into something that we both felt very passionate about. So I am
yeah,
absolutely thrilled to be here with you on the first episode, to see your vision coming to fruition. And I know that there's a
yeah,
lot more ahead of you, with your vision. But thank you for allowing me this opportunity to be that voice. And I'm hoping that we're able to do exactly what we all think we should be doing, and that's really just providing our listeners, whether they're experts or just interested in food,
mm,
making sure that we provide education at one point, perspectives, right? People need,
perspective. Yes.
yeah, perspectives are important. Can't just be
Mm,
our perspective. We need it from all over. So, that I think
yeah.
that's what really brought me to want to do this with you.
Mm,
By you saying, "Hey, let's get outside of just the box of the same
mm,
people. Let's go global. Let's see what's going out on
yeah.
globally." And that's
Globally. Yeah.
because that's where the real education comes in, right? And
Mm,
that's where the real conversations come in, and the different areas of expertise. So
yeah. Because we learn like we say we learn from each other, and
mhm,
a lot of times just inspecting different cultures, right? Different cultural cuisines, different restaurants that pop up.
yeah,
There's always there's always a method or methodology that is brought from that country or that culture, right? And it may be allowable or permitted within the code that their jurisdiction is in, and then it may not be. But that's when those cultural differences come up. That's where we learn from, and things like that get implemented into the code, on the next revisions and things like that. So that's also what I saw inspecting, and it made me kind of want to open up broader, to a global aspect because cultures play good culture. Food is culture, so cultures play a big part in the food industry. So
it's food is my world, so it's my culture. It's my identity, it's my family, it's my profession.
mhm.
Everything I do
Yeah,
is somehow one way or another based around food. So this is very exciting. So I thank you for this opportunity, and I think it's great. Um, you know, uh, Thank you for sharing the story behind you, and what drove you to this. It's inspiring to see. Um, your vision. Actually, here we are, episode 1, right? And
Mhm.
there's a lot more. It's my first episode, so of
Yeah.
ever hosting a podcast. So don't think that I don't have notes in front of me, and
No, no.
it'll be
This too is gonna grow, so this too is
yeah.
gonna grow from
So
this first episode. So
right,
everything's constantly moving. So
that's right.
yeah.
It's
Mhm.
I feel very comfortable and confident with you and I being on the same page and in
Mhm.
what you want to represent. And
Yeah.
so I'm really thrilled about that. And again, thank you for that. So um,
Mhm.
for everyone here, for every broadcast, for every podcast that we bring you, it's our goal at different levels and different spectrums is to bring a different perspective and expertise to educate you all so that you all are more confident and comfortable and hopefully have more questions about what's going on with your food. Um, Again, make sure that you follow the Food Court podcast by DSG, which is stands for Definitive Safety Group.
Mhm.
Jonathan Davis is the CEO. He does a
Yeah.
lot more outside of food safety, and you
Yeah.
can go visit him on his website and all of his social media channels, including LinkedIn. But thank you so much, Jonathan, for this opportunity. And I'm thrilled to have had this, our very first episode with you. And
Yeah.
thank you to everyone behind the scenes that have
Mhm.
helped.
And I appreciate you, Michelle, for standing up and becoming the host and the voice that we need for this initiative. So I appreciate it and appreciate everyone that's tuning in that wants to be a part of it. Just go to the food court .com and also go to definitivesafetygroup.com. Okay, you'll find a lot more resources there. But appreciate you and appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.